Marriage Podcast. I'm your host, Whitney Shio.
And I'm your host, Bessa Shio.
And this is the place where we believe that every single marriage out there has a chance to be awesome, fulfilling, and long-lasting.
Yes, every marriage has a chance to be awesome and fulfilling.
And you guys can always reach out to us on Twitter. I'm at Whitney Shio.
And I'm at Bessa Shio.
That's right. And you can also like us on Facebook.
That's at Facebook /Live Your Best Marriage.
And you can also subscribe to the blog back where it all began at liveyourbestmarriage.com/blog.
Oh, yeah.
So today we wanted to talk about how do I know that my marriage is going to last? That's one of the questions that Bessa and I get pretty often. People will just come out and say, okay, well, if I take the risk and I decide to settle down and stay with someone for the rest of my life, how do I know it's really going to work out?
And
how do I know that it's safe to actually take that chance?
And sometimes you never know.
Sometimes you never know. But Bessa and I have learned that one of the best ways to predict that it will go well is to make the commitment at the very beginning to stay.
Yes, just decide that you won't quit even if the times get tough.
Because when things become difficult, as long as you have a way out in the back of your mind, if there's always a back door, then the commitment is not 100%.
No.
But if you decide from the get-go, you know what, I'm not leaving, no matter what, you've just increased your chances of making it work, I think, tenfold.
Oh, yeah.
And the deal is, a lot of us view love as just a feeling.
Okay.
But the only problem with that is feelings come and go. I mean, feelings change, they go up and down, they're not stable.
No, and sometimes what you might feel like, you might feel one way now, but few hours later or few minutes later, you might feel the other way.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Things change very quickly. So what Bessa and I like to do is we encourage couples to make the decision to love. Just choose love, regardless of what the circumstances are or how you're feeling at that moment. If you choose, okay, you know what? I'm going to keep loving this person. They just made me mad. They made me really, really mad. But I still love him anyway.
Yeah. And then also goes back to the issue of, can somebody really make you mad?
Yeah. The person we marry will absolutely make us mad. But it all goes back to that whole idea. If I make the commitment to continue loving him, my feelings are not going to change my mind. So love, really, instead of viewing it as something that I feel, I'm going to view it as a promise that I made to this one special person.
Till death do us apart.
There you go. There you go. Because the truth is, that warm, fuzzy feeling is not always present. We don't always feel that every minute of every day.
No.
But what do we do when it's not there? Do we quit?
No.
No, we should not quit.
And sometimes we, this goes on, like maybe at your job, you might not feel like doing the job. And I'm not trying to compare your marriage to
going to work.
No, I'm not trying to compare your marriage to this drudgery. But the truth is, there's sometimes you might not feel like doing something.
Right.
But you end up doing it anyway, and eventually you
kind of get things going.
Yes.
Yes, I know what you're talking about. That feeling you have when there's a task coming up that you dread, but once you actually get started, it's not
Yes.
so bad.
So yeah, the starting always is a problem.
Yeah, but you're able to overcome that feeling of, oh, I don't want to do this.
Yeah, once you get the momentum, once you've started the task.
Yes.
Yes.
So yeah, and that's also that can also happen in marriage too. I mean, because those annoying little things will always be there.
Yeah.
There's always going to be something that your spouse does or they say that bothers you or it's annoying. It's the little things.
Yeah.
I get it. I mean, that's not going to go away.
No.
But just being able to overcome that feeling, like, okay, you know what? it's okay. It's okay. I'm here to stay anyway. That's becoming more and more difficult for people to overcome.
Especially if you think that you can do better or you can move on or something like that. Yeah.
Right.
It actually makes it harder.
Yeah. That's so true because the divorce rates are so extremely high and fewer people are getting married.
Yeah.
Millennials are not getting married.
Yes.
As much as past generations did.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really glad Pesa brought that up about the fact that thinking that there's something better out there,
yes,
that just totally messes up everything.
Yes.
Because as long as we think that the next relationship is going to be better,
yeah,
then there's that back door. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like you'll always have that thought in the back of your mind, like, you know what? If I find someone better,
mm-hmm,
then I'm not gonna have these issues or this problem is gonna go away.
Yes.
If I get someone new.
Yes.
But that's really not the case because, I mean, in reality, divorce is really trading one set of problems for a new set of problems.
Yes.
Because no human out there is perfect.
And no human out there is perfect. And also, when you're thinking that you can get something better out there, mm-hmm, also your spouse is putting up with you. Your spouse can also be saying the same thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. The person we're married to can say the same thing.
Yeah.
But also a lot of the issues that we deal with are actually caused by ourselves. We actually bring them on ourselves. And so when we move into a new relationship, we carry a lot of our problems with us.
With us, yes.
So not only are you carrying your own baggage and your own issues with you, mm-hmm, you're also going to be introduced to new problems that this new person has.
Yes.
So their problems might just be a different version of something that your spouse does, your current spouse does. And
you have to get used to that.
Right. Yes. I mean, it's just, honestly, because that's the truth. There is no perfect person out there.
No.
And I like to look at it this way.
Because we're all humans.
Yeah. Yes. None of us are flawless. And I like to think of it as, you know, maybe my perfect match is the person I'm already with.
Yes.
And what I mean by that is it can be the new and improved version of the person I'm with. Once we work through some of the issues we have and we get better and better, mm-hmm, then they can just become a better match for me than they were even on the day that we got married.
Oh, yeah.
Like, does that make sense, though?
Yes, yes.
Instead of thinking that, well, I should just abandon what I have right now and go find the perfect match, yes, find a better match.
Yes. Let's
work on the one that we have, and then we'll just have a new and improved version of ourselves.
Because the thing is, it's not... The first thing is actually it's you. It's mm-hmm, me, right, that needs to improve. Because right, once I improve, I'll start noticing that thing. Like my world mm-hmm, gets better.
Yes.
But it's hard to get that because mm-hmm, most of the time we think it's the other person. If the other person can mm-hmm, just change,
Yes.
life will be much easier.
Yes.
But the truth is, it's not them, it's me.
Right. Yeah, you're absolutely right. When your attitude changes, everything
changes.
suddenly changes.
Yes.
Yes, that's right. And so sometimes it can just be our own stubbornness that gets in the way. It can be just as simple as me refusing to change.
Okay.
Or me refusing to be accepting.
Yes.
Of the way my spouse is. Like, because that's what love really is all about anyway. I mean, it's nice when you guys can have a similar personality or similar interests. Those things help, and that's nice. But you don't have to.
No.
You don't have to find the twin of yourself to be happily married.
So it's like you're getting married to yourself.
Yeah, I don't think anybody would really want that. And so that's the funny thing about it. I mean, love really is just choosing to accept them the way that they already are.
Yeah.
So that's a huge part of it too. But so if we can move past the stubbornness, that's a good way to start to be able to tell whether or not your marriage is going to last. Yes. Or if it's going to be strong. And another good thing you can do is safeguard.
What do you mean safeguard?
Safeguard the marriage by preventing a lot of drama. If we believe that prevention is the best medicine, then we need to sort of be on the lookout for problems and drama that comes to us.
Yeah.
And one of the best ways to do that is not share personal information, especially marriage problems, with certain people, probably relatives, friends, coworkers, because whatever their philosophy is, that they're going to influence you with that.
Yes.
So if this person is single or divorced, or if they just don't really believe in marriage that much, if they don't really think marriage is a big deal, you definitely do not want advice from that person. No. Because they don't have your relationship, it's not in they don't have your best interest really
in mind.
Yeah. So I mean, you can really prevent a lot of drama just by being careful about who you get your advice from, and just the simple things, because if they're influencing you in a way that makes you view your spouse negatively. Okay, so they're
talking crap about your spouse.
Yeah, because the trouble is most of us view the person as the problem. Like, for example, if someone complains to me about their spouse, I would try to encourage them to just view the problem as a problem. Okay. Rather than view their spouse as a troublemaker. Oh. Does that make sense? Yes. But a lot of people don't really view it that way. They view it as, okay, when this person makes a mistake, it's almost like they are the mistake. Yes. You need to lose that person. You need to get rid of that loser. You know what I'm saying? I've heard that in places that I used to work in. I've heard, oh my goodness, that phrase, you need to drop that loser, so many times. People they talk about the annoying things that their spouse does. And so the marriage is not really viewed as something that's precious or sacred or something that needs to be held together. Yeah. They view it as a nuisance. Yes. So that's what I mean by safeguard. It's just those little things.
So what should they do in terms of what if for example, you find that your spouse is gambling and has spent all the money, and you love him, but at the same time you are this has been going on for so many years,
Mm-hmm.
and every time you guys try to fix this fix this problem, he ends up getting back to it.
Mm-hmm.
What would you advise a couple like that? But because
Mm-hmm.
maybe the wife is thinking, no, if I can just drop him,
Mm-hmm.
I can live a better life and I won't have to
Right.
deal with this issue.
Right. So if they're viewing it just black and white, like, okay, he's causing so much trouble and I just need, if I'm not with him, then I'm not gonna have these problems.
Yes.
If they're viewing it that way, I would really like to encourage them to seek help from maybe a professional who deals with, not only helps couples but deals with addictions, because gambling is like an addiction.
Maybe they've tried that several
So,
times.
if they've already tried,
Mm-hmm.
then okay, I'm not laughing. That's not funny. She's got a big challenge then to love someone who is not perfect. Again, none of us are perfect. So, I don't know, whatever ways they can work through that addiction.
Mm-hmm.
It's not easy.
No, it's not easy.
I know that for sure.
And at the same time, she's seeing her friends, they're not having the same issue. And she's like, you know what? If only I could be with so-and-so who's single and he doesn't seem to have all this drama going on for him, with him.
But also the thing you said about, they tried that. They tried to get help and it didn't work.
Yes.
How long did they try? Because usually the difference between succeeding and failing is consistency.
Okay.
So if she truly does love him and want to stay married to him, then I would just encourage, just keep, no, not just one more time, just you keep trying.
So how many times can you say, you know what, I've tried enough? There is no, this is till death do us apart.
Yeah, if we really believe that it's till death do us part, then you'll keep trying.
Okay.
It's the same way you would try to keep helping your child if your adult child has an addiction, a drug addiction.
Yeah.
And you're trying to save their life.
Yeah, would for example, if they have a drug addiction, they're
would you
using
take
heroin.
them to rehab once, and then if it doesn't work, you're like, we tried that. I'm sick of trying. No, if it's, you would do everything.
But what if your child is still using the drug?
But you still don't want your child to die. So you wouldn't give up. You would keep trying until they're healthy and they're safe. So
yeah, I see what you mean. I just was asking you questions because just want to take this to the logical conclusion.
Yeah, and I get it. I get those are huge problems that are not easy to deal with. But it just goes back to that question that we asked in the beginning. How do we view love? Do we view it as something that we do when it feels good, when it's convenient? Do we stay with our spouse when it's convenient for us, or do we drop them
when it's not? When
things get hard. So...
And the answer is we stay with them.
Yeah. Most of us will never have to go through a huge addiction problem. But even if you do, there are couples out there who have survived really, really, really difficult porn addictions. Which I would think a porn addiction would be way worse than gambling. I know gambling is really scary because it's like, oh my gosh, we're losing money. But the porn, I think, would feel like more of a betrayal.
Yes.
So, but there are a ton of couples who have been able to make it through that.
Yes.
So yeah, it just depends on what you believe. If you believe in taking the back door when things stop being convenient for you, then yeah,
That's what you'll do.
Then I guess you would leave. So you would give up.
Oh, okay.
So
that's interesting and then the power of prayer. For most of these things, if it's just about using our own energy, we'll give up so easily. But if we pray about it,
Yeah, God gives you strength.
yeah, God gives you strength and actually makes it easy to go through the struggle. Yeah.
And also having faith. If you have faith that God has something special planned for you, something special planned for you and your spouse, then that, I've learned that that is really, really great motivation to keep going, to keep moving forward.
Yes, because sometimes you're like, and also sometimes if you hold on, something that you thought at that moment it was the worst thing ever, when you look back, you're like, oh my God, I am so glad I went through that. Because if I didn't go through that, I wouldn't be where I am right now. But when you're going through that, you're like, my life sucks. I wish I'm not going through this. I wish everything stayed the same.
Absolutely. And I'm so glad you brought that up, because another thing it can also be is you can be like 2 seconds away from a major breakthrough.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. When you're going through a really, really, really tough time in your marriage, you guys might actually be moving close to something great.
And you might not even know.
Yeah. But it's the fight that you're having right now. It's just the devil trying to stop you from the greatness that is just around the corner. It is so close. But you know how it goes. Things have to fall apart right before you get there.
Yes.
But if you just hold on a little bit longer, you'll see how awesome it is on the other side.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
on the other side of the problem.
Yes. So yes. At that time, you might be like, oh my God, this is the worst thing. Because I've had this issue before, like you're going through a situation and you're like, man, I can't stand this. This is crazy. Or it's like somebody like maybe trying to get to a school, like maybe they apply to a college or something, and they get rejected after rejection after rejection, and then maybe they end up doing something else which had nothing to do with what they had planned to do. And then looking back, they're like, I am so glad I was rejected. Because at that time, I thought my life was over, but I ended up meeting this fine lady, and
That's right. That's right.
And that actually happened to me.
It happened to you?
Yes. Remember that story? I lost a job. And then by losing that job, I went and applied another job, and I ended up meeting you.
Yes. You lost a job opportunity, and then the place that you got hired was actually where I was already working.
Yes, but when I was losing the job opportunity, I was like, that's not really awesome, because I will have to start looking for other jobs.
Yeah, you thought you were losing a great opportunity,
not
but
knowing
actually,
that the Lord
actually, this really huge door of opportunity was opening for you.
Yes, and at the end of the day, it's how you view it. Yeah, it's how you view it. It's the meaning. I think Tony Robbins was saying this, that it's the meaning that you attach to it. The meaning that you attach to it. So somebody can say, you know what, I will only be happy only after I get a divorce. And guess what? As long as you're married, you'll always be miserable. It's the meaning you attach to it. Because that's why sometimes you go to some third world countries and you find people who are really poor, but they are very happy. And they pretty much they haven't attached their happiness to buying the next house or getting a new car or getting to that college. So their happiness is not attached to that. And because they don't see things that way, you can be like, why are they happy and they are living this poor life? Because that is your way of thinking, that to be happy you have to have this nice car, or to be happy you have to have these nice outfits or something like that. But for them, they don't have that rule, so they don't have to jump over that hoop before they're happy.
They have very little, but they're very happy.
Yeah.
That's awesome. The very last tidbit that we wanted to add is to know whether or not you can have a lasting marriage is to stay emotionally close. What I mean by that is it's very, very easy for everyday life to come between us.
Oh, yeah.
It's just all of the things that we have on our schedule, all the things we have on our to-do list, and as we mentioned earlier, those little annoying things that our spouse does, they have a way of sort of, I don't know, gradually, it can chip away at your relationship.
Oh, yeah.
It really can. And so a couple of the things that you can do is it can be something as simple as just sitting next to each other on the couch when you're in the living room watching TV
together.
Yes, together. It can be, rather than sitting across the room on a separate couch, one of you has the iPad and the other one has the TV or the phone.
Do people still use iPads?
Or whatever it is, tablet.
Do the people have like?
I don't know.
Okay,
yes,
yeah.
people do.
Okay.
I've seen them. So you're sitting on the couch next to one another, and that doesn't. I'm not saying you have to watch the same shows or you can't have your tablet, your device. I'm not saying that, but the huge difference that you'll see though, just by sitting next to one another and maybe holding hands or you have your arm around whatever it is, that is just one of the small things you can do to stay close.
Yeah.
It's physically close, but it really, really does help with your bond, which is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Another thing you can do is commute to work together in the same car. Oh, and I know this might sound like a pain in the butt. I get it. It might not be possible if you work on, opposite sides of town on your city or whatever. But I mean, if it's at least somewhat close, ride along together in the same car, because that's just, that you're making one more effort
to spend more time.
Yeah, spend more time. Just do something together.
Especially if both of you leave the house about the same time and you work closer to each other, or
I mean, you just plan around it like the best way that you can.
Now, for a lot of us, it might be inconveniencing because when it's time to leave, I just want to leave work. I don't want to be waiting for my ride.
Oh, yeah. I see what you mean. I get it. Mm-hmm. So, but
no, I'm not saying
but it is. Yeah,
it's something that you can work around.
It's something you can try.
And actually, just the working around that issue, I think brings you guys together because you have a problem that you want to solve together.
Yeah. But also, it's actually, I think, the more inconveniencing that it is, I think the better of a reminder it is that you guys are intentionally trying to
do something.
You're trying to be deliberate in staying close.
Yeah.
So if that's possible, you might want to give it a try, because I think that could make a big, big difference.
A huge difference.
And another suggestion is you can attend events together. Yeah. Even if one of you belongs to a certain organization or association, whatever, and the other one doesn't, go ahead and buy tickets for both of you. Mm-hmm. If it's a weekend conference, even if it's a sports event, a game, just go ahead and show up together. Because that's also a great way to safeguard, too. It shows the people around you that your marriage is strong.
Yes. And
that you guys actually do enjoy spending time together.
And actually, it just shows that you guys are together.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. But it's a really, really great way. Pesa and I have found out. It is a great way to stay close.
And after a while, actually, people start realizing that you guys are together, and they start actually expecting that you guys will show up together.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So they expect that you guys will be there together, and in a way it actually forms a boundary around you. Because what happens, even if somebody is about to go astray, they won't go astray in that environment, because everybody in that environment knows the other person. They know the wife, they know the husband. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Or if someone in that particular group wanted to mess up things, they're less likely to do that, because I mean, it's obvious that you guys are pretty tight. So it's, you know, I mean, it's nice, but even just being able to spend time together though throughout those events, honestly, I've had a lot of fun doing that.
Oh, me too.
So folks, just to recap, we just wanted to give you a little bit of encouragement and also a few tips on ways to know whether or not you can have a lasting marriage. And one of the biggest things is just making that commitment from the get-go to stay, no matter what. To choosing to love even when you don't feel like loving.
Yes.
And staying when it's not convenient.
Yes.
Those are all ways to know whether or not your marriage is strong enough to last.
Cool. So, folks, we really enjoyed having this podcast this evening. And don't forget to like us and subscribe on iTunes. And until next time, bye and God bless.
Are you tired of being upset, lonely, feeling empty, or just plain frustrated with your marriage? And no matter how hard you try, you're not getting anywhere, just going in circles? No matter how much you try to make time for one another in your schedule, or how many times you say, "I'm sorry," Pesa and I have put together 99 ideas to help you connect with that one special person, so that things can start to be more like the way they were before everyday life got in the way and caused the two of you to drift apart. We want you to have 99 ways to show love to your spouse, absolutely free. You can find it at 99waystoshowlovetoyourspouse.com. Because here at Live Your Best Marriage, we truly hope that the two of you can move closer together and enjoy the connection that comes from achieving a stronger bond. Again, that's 99waystoshowlovetoyourspouse.com. That's the number 99waystoshowlovetoyourspouse.com.